Hello learners, we all have cherished countless stories, but have you ever thought what makes them tick? What are the secret ingredients that turn words on pages into captivating adventures? How do these authors craft these masterpieces? Think about it. A great story can make you laugh, cry, hold your breath in suspense, or even leave you pondering over life's biggest questions. Well, in this video, we are going to reveal some magic. So, let's get started. Let's be ready to explore the twists and turns of a plot, meet some unforgettable characters, and be transported to vivid settings. Let's begin. First, let's have a look at the definition of a story. A story is a narrative that describes a sequence of events. It can be real or imaginary. Also, it includes some characters, settings, and a plot. So, I have an activity for you before we proceed. Close your eyes for a minute and imagine you have a bag with some magical objects, be it a magical wand, a magical clock, or a talking cat. Do you think these objects are sufficient for writing a story? Or do you think you require some other elements to write your story? Yes, I'm sure you all must have got your answers. No, these are not the sufficient elements for writing a story. We need some other elements to write our stories. In this video, we'll now come to know what are those elements that need to be incorporated for writing a story. The elements that are required for a story are setting. It refers to the place and time where a story takes place. Character refers to the creatures who inhabit the entire story. Plot refers to the sequence of events. Conflict refers to some problem. It can be internal as well as external. Last but not the least, it is the theme, which is the underlying message of the story. Now, we'll have a look at all these elements in detail. Talking about the setting first. The setting is where and when the story takes place. It helps build the background and create images in the mind. Also, it sets the tone or mood of the story. Now we'll discuss the second element, which is character. People or creatures who inhabit the entire story, who drives the plot forward. Who doesn't remember Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, Prince Charming? All these are the characters. Let's talk about plot now. Plot refers to the sequence of events that make up the story. It includes the introduction, the rising action, the climax, the falling action, and the resolution. As you can see in the image, in the beginning of the story, we have the exposition and the conflict is also introduced. When we come towards the middle of the story, we have the rising action and the climax. The climax refers to the peak or the turning point of the story. When we come towards the conclusion part of the story, we have the falling action and the resolution. The resolution refers to where the conflict or the problem is solved. Let's talk about the next element now. It is the conflict, the central struggle of the story. Also, it can be internal. Suppose your character is in a dilemma. He is confused. He is in stress. That is internal conflict. It can be external as well, where a character is struggling against an outside force. So now we'll talk about the last but the most important element, that is the theme, the underlying message the author wants to convey through his story. Also, the backbone or the spine of the story. Can you imagine yourself without your backbone or the spine? No. Similarly, we cannot imagine ourselves without the theme of the story. So, I am sure you all have now understood the 5 important elements that make up a story. So when next time you sit down to write your own stories, I have some magic for you. And the magic is 5-finger retell. Whenever you'll recall this strategy, you'll definitely be able to understand the elements of a story and you'll be able to write your story beautifully well. And that 5-finger retell is setting, the place and the time, character, the creature who inhabit the whole story, plot refers to the sequence of events, conflict refers to internal or external problem, and the theme is the backbone or the underlying message of the story. I'm sure students, you all have understood these 5 elements as well as this 5-finger retell strategy beautifully. And now it's time for a task. The task is brainstorm and write a short opening scene. It can be 1 or 2 paragraphs and you have to include the setting, introduce your character and create a conflict. I'm sure you'll be able to complete your story beautifully. Till then, happy learning!